friends, I'm Katie. Today I want to talk to you about a few things I've learned from 10 years of learning English and teaching English. These are things that nobody tells you in language academies, in schools and classes, but they can completely change your English. If you've just started learning English or you're stuck in the middle and you feel like you can't make any progress, this video is for you. I learned English from absolute zero in non-English speaking country and without expensive classes or having a private tutor. A lot of my friends started just like me. They started with me all at the same time, feeling excited, motivated, and full of energy. But most of them just gave up after a few months and never continued. I came very close to quitting too, many times. I could have been one of those people who say, English just isn't for me, but I didn't quit. And today I want to share with you exactly what I did to keep going and how I learned to speak English comfortably, naturally, and with confidence, and became an English teacher and now have students from all over the world. The path I'm going to share with you today comes from my own real experience and evidence-based learning. So let's see, what does this path look like? This path has number 1, start, number 2, keep going, and number 3, results. Think of it as a GPS for learning English. Follow it and it'll take you where you want to go. The first 3 years I spent learning English, I started with this idea. It's cool to speak English. So I started studying English, but my progress was painfully slow. I'd get excited, study English for a week or 2, then stop. And a few months later, I'd start all over again. Feel excited, study, and stop. And every time I quit, I'd feel terrible. I felt kind of guilty and frustrated, thinking I'm never going to be good at English. Back then, I thought I had no talent to speak English. And English is bloody hard. Until I found a really good local hotel that was hiring with a great salary. But the requirement was to speak English fluently. I had just 1 month to get ready for the job interview. So I did whatever it took. Thanks to my background and 3 years of studying English, I managed to do it. And in 1 month, I became fluent in English. And I got the job. Isn't that crazy? Something that I'd worked hard for years happened in just 1 month. The lesson I learned from this was that when learning is connected to survival, a job, an opportunity, or your future, your progress multiplies, even in a very short time. So needless to say, effective learning has to start with a real motivation. You see, in those 3 years of me studying English, I just wanted to speak English because it's cool, without no real reason. I didn't have a clear motivation, but in that 1 month, my motivation became real. I had a reason to do it. I needed it. Let me be frank. Motivation is not what they show you on Instagram. It's not about always being in a good mood, full of energy, or being super excited. No. In these 10 years, I realized that motivation is having a real reason that actually matters. A reason that gets you started, keeps you going, even if you're tired, even if you don't feel like it. Most people don't take motivation seriously, unfortunately. But it's exactly like gas for a car. As long as there's gas, the car moves. But the moment it runs out, wherever you are, the car stops. Learning English is exactly the same. As long as you have motivation, you get excited. You start doing it. You keep moving forward. But the very moment you lose it, everything just stops. So to keep your motivation burning bright, do these 3 things. Ask yourself, Why do I want to learn English? Really think about it. For example, maybe you wanna get an IELTS score, but just getting the score itself isn't real motivation. Why do you want that score? Maybe you want to study at a certain university. Studying at that university is your real motivation. Or maybe you want to become fluent in 6 months. Why do you want to be fluent? Perhaps you're getting ready for a job interview. In that case, getting the job is your strong motivation, not just being fluent. Always remind yourself of your motivation. Keep it right in front of you so you can feel it, get excited. So you can write it down on a piece of paper and stick it to your mirror or your desk. That way, every time you see it, it reminds you what you're working toward and why it matters. Number 3, connect with people who are on the same path as you. Join classes or groups where others are learning too. Connect with them. That way, when your motivation drops, you can encourage each other and keep moving forward. Let me tell you something interesting. Over the years, I've noticed something interesting with English learners. When they join a group class, they say they're more motivated, they practice more, they show up consistently, and make faster progress. Many of them thank me with a big smile, like, "Thank you, your class is so helpful. Now I'm more motivated and confident." But most of them don't know why. It's not just the teacher or the materials, it's the power of being around people who share the same goal and are on the same journey. All right, so far we've learned that motivation is great for getting started. It makes you watch videos, buy books, download apps, and excitedly say, "This time I'm serious." But the truth is, motivation alone is not enough. On the language learner journey, motivation goes up and down. One day it's high, the next day it's gone. One day you feel like studying English, but another day you don't even feel like watching a short video. So if you want to keep going and stay on track with your motivation and your goal, you need one really important thing: focus. You need to stay focused. I used to have this bad habit. For example, when I wanted to watch a 10-minute video to improve my English, I wouldn't just watch the video. I'd check my phone, I'd read my messages, and sometimes I'd reply. Or in the middle of the video, my mind would jump from one thought to another. Like, what should I eat for lunch? Maybe I'll order something. Or I'd pay a bill. So I'd pause the video, open an app, another tab, or another video, and then suddenly it was night. I realized that it was night and I hadn't even finished that 10-minute video. Can you see? My problem wasn't a lack of time or lack of resources. My real problem was lack of focus. You see, focus means when you're learning something, like when you're learning English, you don't think about anything else. You don't let distractions pull you away and you stay on your path. So to sharpen your focus on learning English, do these things. Your first priority has to be English, no matter what. It has to be your priority. Otherwise, something else will come up and you won't do it. Most of the time when we say, "I don't have time to learn English," it's not really about time. You choose to spend that time doing something else. So it's not that you don't have time to learn English, it's that you don't make learning English a priority in the moment. Consciously say no, even to good things. Look, focusing on learning a language, like learning English, is hard. That's why your brain wants to run away from it and looks for an easier option. So to anything that shows up or tries to distract you on this path, say no. There are thousands of excuses and fun things that can pull you away. Ignore all of them and laser focus on this path. Use something like Focus To Do to manage your phone and your social media when you study, and turn off your notifications. This one is personal. One thing that made my focus much stronger was drinking coffee. Yeah, drinking coffee can help and make you more alert. During a study session, I drink a cup of coffee, and that sharpened my focus on learning English. Research shows that drinking moderate amount of coffee can improve focus because it increases dopamine in the brain and reduces fatigue. One important point, every time your mind gets distracted, do not feel disappointed. Focus doesn't mean your mind never wanders. It means it wanders less. So every time your mind drifts, gently bring it back. All right, next, imagine you want to drive to Las Vegas. I don't even need to talk about your motivation behind it. Everyone's motivation for Las Vegas is high. But what actually gets you there is moving forward continuously, is being consistent. I remember when I wanted to take the IELTS exam, at that time, I was working full time. I didn't have much time to improve my English. But I had to get IELTS for better job opportunities. So a system kind of created naturally that allowed me work and still study. It was a simple system. Every day at a fixed time, for 20 minutes, I did one specific thing for the exam. So every day, the same time, the same rule. And after a while, it became my routine. Something interesting happened there. I never felt like I was working real hard or putting in too much effort. But when I looked back, I realized that I'd done a huge amount of practice. I learned a lot and made real progress. That forced experience showed me that learning English is a long-term process, not a short-term process. It's like a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint. The person who does better in a marathon is the one who moves slowly and consistently, not the one who starts fast and gets tired halfway. So now the question is how to stay consistent to get results. Make your study time short but precious. You see, I've seen a lot of English learners who say, I'm going to study for 4 or 5 hours every day and make fast progress. But because it's such a big and overwhelming task, they struggle to find the time to do it. They say, I'll do it tomorrow. But again, tomorrow comes and they don't find the time to do it. They keep moving time around, but never actually find the time to get started. So instead of saying, I'm gonna study for 4 hours or 2 hours today, say, I'm gonna study for just 15 minutes straight. Look, when your brain knows that the task is short, it doesn't see it as big or scary, so you're more likely to stay consistent and keep going. All right, the next thing you wanna do is make it a habit. For something to become a habit, your brain shouldn't have to ask every time, should I do this or not? Just do it. No thinking needed. No decision needed. It just happens automatically. The 21-day rule says all it takes to make something a habit is doing it for 21 days in a row. Just do it consistently for 21 days. That repetition makes it easier to be consistent and turns learning English from hard task into a daily habit, into something that you can easily do. All right, that's it. One more thing. Always remember, real progress is like hair growth. It happens every day, but you don't see it right away. So if you're learning English every day, definitely you're making progress. You're doing amazing. All right, my friends, that's it for today's video. If you liked it or learned something new, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.